Hello, and welcome to another episode of PlotPoints Crazy Theories, as we've dubbed it. I don't think they're crazy. Do you think they're crazy? No, I don't. Well, thank you, Richard number two. Plot point number two. Thank you very much. So, um, let's start off this with the obvious little.
Here, why don't we just retry it since it's so early on, just for continuity purposes?
Hello, welcome to another episode of PlotPoints Crazy Theories. Crazy, as some people may call them. I don't think they're crazy. I don't think they're crazy at all. Thank you, plot point number two. Now, let's get to work first with the next episode, putting your hoof down where Fluttershy learns how to put her down. It's gonna be pretty good. But I think the whole thing's going to end up being more of her trying to stop her coach from teaching her all this, because we all know Fluttershy is not going to become more authoritative. That's just not her style. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. Now, next, back to this episode. Um, this episode we had a lot to do with, other sentient life forms in Equestria. There's been a lot to do on this subject. A little bit of research into the whole thing reveals that pretty much any hooved animal has the intelligence of at or below pony level. Really, the only thing that makes ponies special above these is they have some sort of deity. It's possible other creatures have them. And B, ponies have magic, which would clearly put them at the forefront of all society, which would explain why every other creature uses the terms every pony and special some pony, no matter who they're talking about. Whether they're a donkey, a cow, a buffalo, a pig, a sheep, pretty much any. So, really, the whole thing is, a motif on Equestria, which refers to hooved animals or horse-like animals. Did you know that horses originally had 3 toes? Interesting fact. Now, onwards and forwards. So, pretty much any animal has intelligence and keeps their basic, abilities from this world. Cows still produce milk, and it's not considered weird for them to drink it. I have no idea about that. What is and isn't socially acceptable is, sort of a cultural thing for development. Like loincloths, when did those go out of style? Just one caveman someday invented shorts, and everybody's like, look at that guy, he's got some cool shorts. Yeah. And the guy with the loincloth was like, oh. But anyways, back to intelligence. So it appears that any species with hooves gains intelligence, and there appears to be some sort of system for incorporating them into society. Cows hang out in herds outside of the town for some odd reason. Sheep are herded by the ponies, and generally the only things we've really seen as, constant interactions with pony society are donkeys. And as of yet, we've only seen 2. There was that one mule. I'm not sure if mules count as donkeys. I don't know that much about mules and donkeys. Not at all. Also, you may be wondering if I can illuminate, light up some of the vaguer points of pinky physics. I have a little theory going on, and I think it vastly explains this whole thing, and it also explains a lot of things in varieties of different subject matter. So, first off, we're gonna have to go back to the beginning. Now, at the beginning of the universe, there's all that stuff, and suddenly everything forms, blows up into a giant ball, all that stuff. So, As my theory goes, the first form of life that develops in the entire universe gets to decide the rules. So, say, first microbe on our planet decided, hey, I want some gravity. You know what would also be cool? Some friction, some this, some that, some this. No magic! No magic at all. In Equestria, there was like a little tiny cell rises up out of the ocean, like, I want all that, and I want ponies and magic. Lots of ponies and lots of magic. So, yeah, vaguer point. So, physics is basically decided it by a universe, by the first form of life to develop there. But just because something creates the rules doesn't mean there's little tiny flaws in the overall structure of it. Now, there's little tiny unobserved places, and as you may know from studying a little bit of physics, when not observed, physics doesn't exactly act the same on a micro scale, and I would assume it similarly transfers over to a larger scale. I could be entirely wrong, but then again, this is our physics we're talking about. It changes from universe to universe. So, in essential, Pinkie Pie goes into these areas of non-observation, as I'll call them, where nothing is observing those places, therefore none of the rules apply. She spots these places with her pinky sense, obviously, and she goes into them, and using her vast ability to forget and remember things, she forgets all the natural rules of the universe and instead creates her own from scratch, allowing her to go anywhere. Now, as she's been too exposed to this for a very long time, she slowly gains the power to leak over her idea of the universe into the one that's currently existing. Therefore, the more she pinky pours, as I'm going to call it, the more she can do other crazy random stuff. Like, materialize extra arms, climb straight up poles, all the great stuff. If you don't like this, you don't have to, believe in this. I've also got a secondary theory. You know all those Bethesda games? Maybe Pinkie Pie just fast travels in between places. Does nothing to explain, the extra arms, but, yeah, who needs the explanation for that? Pinkie Pie fast traveling. Cool as hell. So, that brings me to my little wrap-up piece here. Okay, so Scootaloo theories. Now, you may be thinking, next episode, what if this supposed Iron Will pony is Scootaloo? No! That's not it at all. Scootaloo is obviously riding her scooter through Fluttershy's territory, which causes Fluttershy to go to Iron Will so she can finally tell Scootaloo, stop going through because it's disturbing all our sick animals. It's so simple. You just gotta go with me. Trust me, it will happen. So, those are my theories. Believe them if you like them. So long.